A mother tries to save her intellectually disabled son after he is falsely imprisoned for the most horrific crime. Will she prove his innocence to the entire town, or will all be lost? Happy Mother's Day! And on this Day of Mothers, we look at Mother, directed by the great Bong Joon-ho, who is most known for directing the highly acclaimed Academy Award for Best Picture winning film, Parasite. Mother is about a widow trying to prove her son's innocence. I recommend watching it yourself. You can find the movie on Redbox right now. But today, I'm gonna recap this film and give some small analysis at the end. If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the breakdown. Cue the Gohan. The mother herself, isolated in a field. Scooby-Doo, where are you ass dancing? The plot begins with mom slicing herbs, but can't take her eye off her son. However, it's like spider sense, cause a car swipes her son, Do-jun, and she races to help him. But he jumps in a taxi with his bad influence of a friend named Jin-tae to find that rich idiot who hit them. At a golf club, they find the car and look for that hit and runner, but Jin-tae insults his own follower, wondering why even his mother cares about him. Then, the two find the happy-go-lucky people who ran them over and bully them on the fields without a single punch thrown. The police settle this dispute, but make Drake and Josh over here pay for that rearview mirror they broke. But when Mr. Bean here calls Do-jun a dumbass, he gets violent. Jin-tae broke the rearview mirror, but made Do-jun take the blame. So now his mom has the debt to repay. First, let me mention, back at the golf club place, Jin-tae made fun of Do-jun for being a virgin, and he later tells his mom that he must sleep with someone. Yet clearly, mom is too protective and doting on her son. Do-jun goes to a bar but gets curved since Jin-tae isn't here. Jin-tae never comes to the bar that night, and everybody seems to hate Do-jun. Paying your bar tab with golf balls is a real good idea. Walking home, he sees a student also walking home, ignoring him and his creepy words towards her. He looks like he'll follow her, but walks away only to almost get his ankle broken by a huge rock. At least you don't have to tell him twice, and he goes back home. This is really awkward. The next morning, the body of that student is found hanging over the building. She suffered massive head trauma, and the police already have their suspect, and they drive off without even telling him his rights or telling his mother. Karma strikes them back when a van crashes into the car. Injured, they finally tell him he's under arrest for what he did to the student, yet he's in his own little world. He was seen following her and is tricked into signing his own confession papers despite no definitive evidence. Dude's about to get 15 years in prison, and this is his face. But he swears he didn't kill anybody. Mom hides in the rain for this lead detective asking for his help, but he says the case is now over. It's closed. It's a community attraction when the police drag Do-jun to reenact his crime. Mom passes out flyers to convince the public they illegally obtained a confession. Mother arrives at the funeral for that student, but she's not welcome. She screams that her son didn't do it, but it gets all World Star in here. Waffle House Melee, Mortal Kombat, look at this crazy shit. But she's not going to give up yet. She sucks up to a stuck-up annoying lawyer to help her son. He finally does the calculations for the lawyer and says, I didn't do it. And by didn't do it, he means he didn't smash the rearview mirror at the beginning of the movie. The lawyer yeets right out of there, figuring that guy is guilty. Once he gets serious, they both theorize that Jin-tae could be the real killer. She creeps to Jin-tae's humble abode. Him reading up on forensics makes him look real guilty, but she finds a golf club that seems to have blood on it. Suddenly, Jin-tae and his younger girlfriend come inside. Afterwards, they fall asleep, so she ugly walks out of the house. Damn, mama, get out of there already. I'm not gonna lie, she's a real spring chicken. She breaks into the police station to show this evidence, but Jin-tae comes to the station, proving that the blood is actually lipstick. So, she did all that for nothing. I feel so bad for her. She pays this old man for an umbrella when randomly the lawyer comes to pick her up. The lawyer's at a hostess club, asking for her to admit her son is guilty in exchange for a plea deal. 4 years in a mental hospital instead of 15 in a prison. but she believes he is completely innocent. She returns home, seeing Jin-tae broke in. He's mad that she basically tried to frame him and gives him all the money she has. He mentions that whoever put the body on the roof did it on purpose, so she suits up as the Dark Knight of Korea to find the real killer. She finds out about the victim named Ah-jung. She was poor, set aside by her own family, and she was quite promiscuous just to get food in return. Meanwhile, Do-jun is Bruce Lee kicking inmates who call him dumb. Getting beat up helps him remember things though, like one really dark fact. He remembers that Mother tried to off him. She put pesticide in his drink when he was young. She screams horrified that he remembers that. She tried to off herself and him to get away from this horrible world. I did mention it, but she's an unlicensed acupuncturist. She knows of an acupuncture point that will remove horrible memories, but he refuses. Mother goes to a print shop where the clerk helps enlarge a picture of Do-jun. It's here that the clerk remembers when the victim, Ah-jung, came to visit her shop a while back and suffered a nosebleed, a habitual physical manifestation of stress. You can see the stressful sadness in her eyes. The girl with the scar was the victim's friend, and Mother tracks her down, hoping to ask where Ah-jung's phone is. The girl tricks Mother and runs away, but Mother finds her getting bullied by two circus clowns who also want Ah-jung's phone for some reason. Mother inadvertently saves the girl. Later, she pays Jin-tae to beat up those clowns and ask why they want the phone too. These two want the phone because Ah-jung used her camera to take pictures of all the adult men she slept with. So basically, the person who harmed her might just be one of the men in her photo gallery. It's really hard to explain this goofy scene, but Mother goes to Ah-jung's family house, getting her phone back from Drunken Fist over here. So now she's got a list of all the suspects, but one suspect, an old man, is who Do-jun remembers seeing around the crime scene. But Mother met him. She bought an umbrella from him, remember? Mother enters a slippery slope, sneaking into the old man's abode and pretending to be a volunteer medical worker. The old man mentions he saw something horrific. He was there the night Ah-jung died, and he saw Do-jun following her, and he saw her throw that large rock. But he also saw her speak to Do-jun. She told Do-jun to watch his dirty mouth, and she was clearly sad and hurt, scared of men who always harm her. However, Do-jun threw the rock back at her. That is how she died. Do-jun really is guilty. He dragged her all the way up to the roof as a childish attempt to hide what he did. Mother breaks down, beats him, saying he's not worth the dirt in her son's toenail. Yep. Y'all are doomed. She tries to hide what she did by burning the place down, and then goes on a walk of doom. And now the beginning of the movie makes perfect sense. Nothing left but to turn into a forest witch and leave society behind. She returns to her herbal shop, visited by the lead investigator, telling her that they found the real killer. Her son is innocent. Apparently, the real culprit is someone named Jong-pao, found with bloodstains on his shirt that is the DNA of the victim, Ah-jung. The truth is that Jong-pao and Ah-jung were making out when she got a nosebleed, a stress habit of hers, right? But the investigators believe it's proof that he harmed her. Jong-pao is intellectually disabled, even more so than her son. She cries when he learns that he doesn't have a family, a mother that can fight for his innocence. Yet he is about to go to prison for a crime he didn't commit. And all he says to her is, "Don't cry." Do-jun, a guilty man, is declared innocent. Picked up by Jin-tae and his girlfriend, they ride past the building where the old man lived before it burned down. Once he returns home, he pretends to be innocent still. Soon, Mother is going on a thank you parents bus tour with other parents. Before she leaves, he gives her the acupuncture kit she left at the old man's building before she took him out. That could have incriminated her, and he knows it, showcasing his not-so-innocent mindset. Feeling immense guilt, she leaves without even saying goodbye. And once on the bus with the other mothers, she uses an acupuncture needle to strike the place in her thigh that would blank out the memory of the crime she did and what her son did too. The movie ends as she dances with the parents, now unaware of everything she's been through. This movie touched on so much, but let's start with this. Number one, mother aimed to prove her son's innocence, and they had us in the first half, but a definitive witness proves her son was truly guilty, and she killed to keep the secret. You can't blame her for believing her son is innocent, trying to protect the only thing she has left in the world. But clearly, she coddled him a little too much. In a lot of ways, this relationship reminds me of the relationship between Sarah Goldfarb and her son Harry in Requiem for a Dream. Both widows spiraling towards their worst fears in the attempt to escape those fears. But also important is the film critiquing those societal prejudices. People disliked Do-jun simply because he wasn't like everybody else. Yes, he's guilty, but one of the reasons he threw that rock back is because he was so hurt and tired of being hated and insulted. And Ah-jung was so tired of being used and hurt by everyone, even her own family. Both Do-jun and Ah-jung are victims in their own way. I really feel like Do-jun and Ah-jung could have been good friends if circumstances were different. Another aspect I found important is the legal corruption. It's not my place, but it seems in various South Korean media, cops suck. Maybe that's what the end of Missing was communicating to. I mean, they just arrested Do-jun simply because he was disliked and was seen near the crime scene. They didn't even tell him why he was being arrested at first. Do-jun was guilty. But why? The question that mother was trying to figure out the entire movie. And I hate the road that the mother is led down, and all I wish is that in some alternate universe, everybody is living their best life. Number two, the film was really good. I loved how it was structured. I love how it blended various genres, comedy, horror even, and thriller. I just find it a unique experience that I'd love to watch again just for the mechanical aspects of the movie. It just feels like South Korea doesn't miss. Most disturbing moment is a toss-up. Every time they showed Ah-jung, I felt nothing but pain. I felt sad for Jong-pao, imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. And the realization that Do-jun is guilty was tough. This movie had so many good, even funny moments that I couldn't even include in the video. I enjoyed the humorous aspects. It's those scenes that pulled me from the darkness that hides deep within this film. You need to watch the Mother's Day playlist. Every film here has something to do with motherhood, starting with the Japanese movie Confessions, a film about a teacher trying to get revenge after what happened to her daughter. Happy Mother's Day. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the like button and subscribe to see more Spooky Rice. Thanks for watching. Spooky out.